end of the year. That's pretty much what all of these players
I did see that Viper, yeah.
And now it's only 6 games before their fate is decided.
What is going on, chat? Day 2 FNCS watch party, you know? It's about to be fire, hopefully, bro. So Clicks could pull it out, bro. It's the average quad, so that was good. Now we need a Clicks win. Low-key unlikely, though.
Friends are like pretty much all these guys, so
what got us here?
They're all awesome.
Let's take a look at those
We're
standings.
almost
Remember,
14,000
6
subs.
games,
I keep
kinda
forgetting.
set
I
the
think because
stage
I was in
coming into
Fiji
today.
this time last month, so we're only gaining subs. We're not losing any because I didn't stream. It's
Still
crazy.
Lead the way, you know, especially given all of those solo clutch performances by each member on that trio to be starting day 2 with 440 points.
Ooh, this is a good leaderboard, bro. This is a good leaderboard, man. Holy.
It looks like history is repeating itself. We saw in Major 2 that Peter-to-Bot's trio was 50 points ahead of second place after day number 1. In fact, if you look at those stats from day 1 Major 2, they have the exact same average placement of 4.83 that they do after day 1 yesterday. And honestly, with how strong they've been being able to make it to every end game, the amount of eliminations that they're able to get, Vivid, the story of the rivalry between Peter-Bot and Pollo might be reaching its conclusion.
Oh,
I know, right? That's what we've been leading up to that. Right?
Kelly's
the whole
team
entire
Pete.
season, then, you know, the whole off spawn thing, and then it didn't even happen. And right now it seemed like there's a sizable lead. That is it really worth, you know, talking about
Hey, Brisky
that,
the Prime?
right? I think it's very worth it. For me personally today, I'm going to talk about Acorn, Pollo, and
W Vivid, back my boy up. Do it.
Games,
Do it.
absolutely incredible stuff.
Back
so
him
much
up.
so that we
Give me
saw
the stats,
Social
Vivid.
Post resub went out and said he was like,
Hey, snooze him with the
"Oh my
50
gosh,
months.
are we about to see them win 12 out of 12 and then quickly?
Thank you,
after
Ava.
that,
We'll do, bro.
potentially a little bit of a caster curse returning from Reese right there.
Thanks,
They went
Reese.
down in game number 3 very, very quickly. Game number 4, in the middle of that game, they went down again. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like, we were all just like, wow, we thought we were going to have a 2-horse race throughout the entirety of this FNCS, right? And then game number 3 and game number 4
land without
happened.
Booga,
How did that
bro.
happen? Games 1 and games 2 looked
The
so
fact
good.
that Game 12
And of
EU
course,
came
they
down to
bounced back
who's going to
in
win
games number
and
5
who's going
and
to call
6.
land,
They
Savage
did
on the
well.
end.
They
It was
kept
so
themselves in
good.
contention.
Like,
They're sitting
NA is going to be
fourth
the
on
same.
leaderboard, right?
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks.
Ooh,
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
you got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
Your mental health is better. But having uncontrollable body movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia, can feel embarrassing.
I asked my doctor about treating my TD with
Ingrezza. #1 prescribed Ingrezza is clinically proven to treat TD, quickly reducing TD movements by greater than 5 times at 2 weeks. 98% of people were still satisfied with Ingrezza after 2 years, and you can keep taking most mental health meds.
Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior or mood changes, or suicidal thoughts. Don't take Ingrezza if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reactions like sudden, potentially fatal swelling and hives, sleepiness, the most common side effect, and heart rhythm problems. Know how Ingrezza affects you before operating a car or dangerous machinery. Report fever, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these might be life-threatening. Shaking, stiffness, drooling, and trouble with moving or balance may occur.
Taking control starts with asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
Ingrezza. We've been here from the jump. What makes me feel unstoppable? Forward motion.
I don't like ceilings, I don't like walls.
I keep pushing it forward, and I'll just let them keep up.
Right now we're not wrong with people. Look at me, I know you can't see the evil.
So you guys probably seen I've been on my Fabletics kick recently. I'm going to be a customer for life. Really, everything I get from them, I absolutely love. It's all I packed for the whole trip to New York and then to Nashville and everything. I wore mostly Fabletics the whole time.
He said, I didn't think Pete would do it in game 3. That was smart of him, respect. Acorn had no problem with that. The problem Acorn has is he believes that Raz, Pete's coach, is convincing a team to drop on a position next to them that makes them do worse. That's what Acorn's mad about. I just want to specify. Acorn's not saying he's going to throw his fucking grands because Pete lurked on him one game. He was genuinely complimenting Pete for that. It's the other shit is what he's mad about. Just to make that clear.
Out to
They can't talk about it on the broadcast, but
really give a run
for this FNCS win.
I will say, I think part of the answer is actually on the screen right now, where we can see Cold, Peterbot's teammate, is with 17 eliminations in 4th place right now. So I think when we look at a trio as a whole, Peterbot's trio with Cold and even Ritual are able to all provide eliminations.
Chris can still top 3. He can, bro. He can.
Kind of carrying the team a little bit
yesterday.
Well, but so many incredible teams that we have to talk about, Zeke. There is just so much that we have to go over in so little time before we get into game number 1 of the day.
I know, there's just so many things to discuss. First, though, why don't we go in Jacob PR.
Thank you so much, Zeke. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to look forward to today, Jacob.
Hey, Clowny with the gift, he snipes.
Start to the tournament.
Dark Knight.
Now things are really going to turn up.
Yeah, I had one wish. I had one wish going into this FNCS. I did not want a blowout, and so far, I think I've been gifted it. I thought a 4-horse race going into
Holy
this,
fuck, my eyes are hating this. MDF is so clear and Jacob's so blurry. My eyes hate
one
this.
bad game could cost you it all.
Or one
God,
from someone
my
like
brain is freaking the fuck out.
He's willing to take tournaments into his
Okay, it's getting better. It's getting better. He's buffering. We're unlocking him.
I really just want to see, has anyone
He's slowly loading.
Note? Have they decided, hey, you know what? Why not give him some of his own medicine? Because to me, Jacob, that's the real question.
No, it definitely is a 53-point lead. When the start of the day, it was Agers, Poyo, and Acorn that did have that lead. Other teams kind of.
There we go. There it is.
Kanada's in the mix.
There's that beautiful face.
And Aviv. But
Hey,
at the
Mike,
end of the day,
Aiden,
first
Clowny,
place Global
Snipes,
Championship
Dark
spots
Knight.
for
Thank you,
Let's
Jack.
go back to Zeke,
Jesse,
Kelly, and
Smile,
Vivid to see what else they have.
Like, you know, when are we going to give Peterbot a taste of his own medicine?
Hey,
when are we going to do that, Lobby? Okay, everybody, we land on Peterbot. Okay, all of us, we're... Okay, wait.
What?
Let's talk about Kelly.
We're all landing on Peterbot now?
A lot of trios. Mentioned trios that could qualify.
Hey,
trios that could come up big here in day number 2. And of course, this is a new day, right? So just forget about everything that happened yesterday. Let's just look at these numbers and start preparing for right now. 2nd place, Rapid, Kanada, Bolt. Oh my gosh, these guys were going crazy yesterday. Game 3 victory royale with 11 eliminations, and they're just trying to play consistently. They did not have a single game outside of top 8, which is crazy. Obviously, eliminations maybe just a touch on the low side, but I'm so excited to see what they bring for us here in day 2.
And what they brought
Hey,
for day
Traven,
number 1
thank you,
was
Sazuo.
really incredible height control. We saw them actually getting chopped by Acorn's trio in an earlier game and have height stolen away from them. And the adjustments that they made for that next game to control height was so impressive. In game number 3, we see mats the entire time. They make these connections throughout all of the zones. They have 3 different connections, so no one is able to chop them. In fact, people are looking up and not even attempting to get eliminations on them. And although you might be asking, well, what about the refreshes? Well, you can see Bolt's right there using the bird form to be able to
Bolt's
go
has
down,
been playing
hit
so
refreshes,
well right
and
now,
then
bro.
quickly
Bolt's is
rejoin
hitting.
up with Rapid.
Kanada and Rapid have been playing great too,
It was
but
one of
Bolt's
the
is so
strongest
solid
high
right now.
ground controls that we saw all day, and I think we can expect a little more from them today as well.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and correct myself earlier on because I was like, oh yeah, I think we're gonna have a 2-horse race throughout the day, right? Peterbot versus Acorn, yada yada yada.
I appreciate the prime for 6.
3-horse race.
Frost off the
I
prime.
believe that we're gonna see by the end of the day that Kanata's also going to be in the mix for that FNCS win.
I mean, what's the third? Is the third team Aviv, G Money, and Rise, or is that now a 4th horse in the race? Because these guys are not that far behind.
They're not that far behind at all.
372.
Not far behind at all.
And really, their only like quote unquote bad game was that first game where they placed 14th with only game after that, a similar situation of 8th place, and they had the elimination. Interesting. We have on one side great, other side high elims. You know, I'm excited to see once again what these guys. If I'm wrapping Kanata on bolts, I'm thinking, yo, big man, we cannot make a mistake.
What Aviv's trio has prepared is objectives. We saw in game number 4 that not only were they able to get a, but also the research lab by
Takala, 2 spots for land right now.
3 heals and near full mats.
Spot was gonna be hard on NA. I didn't realize it was gonna be this. Top 3 to make land in the
leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about.
You text I am, bro. I'm in the dig house, man.
Bugha hot on their heels, kind of fighting for those global qualification spots. I mean, Kelly, we came into this weekend saying that there are 6
So right now, as far as who's qualled land, so their spot rolls down. So there's 2 spots right now. Pete has land. Kanata doesn't. Aviv doesn't. Acorn does. Bugha doesn't. Muzz doesn't. Clicks does. Braids does. Seek doesn't. Mason doesn't. So it's like this land. These 2 land spots are hard, man. Right now, it's literally 3rd is what you have to place. And then if the Aegis comes up, then, you know, Aviv could still roll down. But with Bugha, Muzz, Aviv, and Rapid all vying for it, bro, it's going to be really tough.
And we know who has the best mental state right now is Craze, because he was going absolutely crazy on the low ground yesterday.
Crazy.
Crazy. Had a perfect
We've never made that joke before.
Because they fit so well as a trio, but they just need to make a few more plays, maybe get a few more eliminations to be able to get that global spot.
You know, Kelly, though, if we're talking about crazy plays, Muzz, Shadow, Sphinx, right? I mean, come on, man. It's Muzz. They're in 6th place.
Come on, Muzz.
I mean, look, guys, I feel like at the end of the day, these trios in the top 6 fall. That's just going to give that much more room, right? Someone else is going to try and step closer, really shrink up that leaderboard. I'm pretty concerned for a lot of these players. I mean, if we all decide, hey, you know what? Peterbot's our target today. Let's just go ahead and land
on Hardy, how'd you enjoy it?
You know, we could see even Peterbot fall at that #1 spot. I don't know.
Listen, Zeke, if you're concerned for players, you need to be concerned for Skittles trio, because they are getting absolutely walked on.
Damn!
Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow.
Oh my God, Kelly's always loved Muzz. Kelly's been a big Muzz fan, but damn!
How well they
Get
do
him,
in
Kelly!
The early and mid
Get him!
fights, just beaming Reed from so far away. This is the Muzz we know.
It's like the most biased I've ever heard a commentator on the broadcast. I love it.
Trio, we're like, oh yeah, they'll make it to the end game about 50% of the time. Muzz was like, nah, what about 100% of the time? Did not.
Oh shit, back her up, Vivid.
Game yesterday.
Damn!
Made it to the end game, 1 on spawn every
Back
single
her
game.
up, shit!
I want to see more of that from that
Yo,
trio
Zeke,
today.
call someone ugly.
Okay, guys, day 2 teams, day 2 grand finals. What do we expect? Is it Peterbot? Is he gonna walk away? Someone else gonna look to take away that spot?
As Fortnite these players have to offer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Acorn, Peterbot.
All right. Get ready for some people.
Muzz definitely He said that.
Let's find our
Here we go,
seats on the
Shaq.
bus.
Come on. It's gonna be a good one, Chaz. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be.
Game number 7.
Mike and Jacob's shirt.
To lead the foundation out perfectly. 2 spots for the global championships and a life-changing amount of money all the way down the leaderboard.
Yeah, definitely. And if EU was a sample of how
Don't judge me.
going to get
I got a little bit over here.
Then I'm ready for it, because game number 7 is here. All right, enough's enough, Jacob. We get
Here we
to
go.
get on this battle
Here we
bus
go,
and
chat.
start this finals.
All right, chat. I
off
need to know how my
with the
chat
last
sits.
Hoorah here. You know, to really
What's a
kick
realistic
things
one?
off, let's
Can-
put stuff into.
Do you think Clicks
picture
ends
here, right?
top
Let's
2,
give the
yes
bigger
or no? I
picture.
think the wins too
Why
hard.
don't you
Top 2, yes or no? I need to know what
fans
percentage
at
of
home,
Clicks
what
fans
they
I have in
missed
here.
yesterday, right? What's on the line
Does
here?
Clicks end top 2,
You guys
yes or
missed
no?
a movie
Ooh, okay. All right,
yesterday.
okay.
I don't know why
Okay,
you guys
all right,
didn't
well.
get your tickets, but I'm glad you're here today.
Okay.
Peter bought
Good to know.
Cold
Good to know.
Ritual,
Good
throwing
to know.
almost everything at it, from launching themselves to the north side of the map, going to Foxy Floodgate, sneaking up on Agers, Aviv, G Money, and Rise, uncontested to start the day, contested through
uncon?
the day, still ending
So
up
Curb
towards the top
isn't
of the
going back
leaderboard,
to
and on
Outpost. That's
Rapid and
big.
Bolts, consistently going for high ground.
By the way,
never seen an FNC.
At the big prize
if they knew they were going to be uncon, they don't split it like that normally.
As we're watching them,
All right, is Muzz conned? Aviv is unconned.
You know, one of the big things
This is
that
tough
I
for
wanted to
Booga.
know
This is tough for Muzz.
yesterday was the fact that
Sketchy for Kanata too.
seen even a
Aviv,
Kanata
G Money,
or
and
even
Rise were
such
playing
a
great yesterday. If they're
strong,
unconned,
consistent day one, these are teams that have typically had
gonna be interesting, Chad. It's gonna be interesting.
performances come back in a day 2 format, so we know
Who was
they
conning
perform
Aviv?
better
Curve.
on the second half of these types of tournaments, and that is what's going to be really
I
telling.
want to see if
you
Muzz
today
is unconned.
as we start to shape things up here. And then there's just the global spots on the line, right? Kanata said it best in that interview.
You Harry with the Prime?
It's a shoe in. He's got this. He's
Sorry, I'll turn him up
not
a little
even
bit. Sorry,
thinking
chat a little bit
about
quiet.
not attending globals at this point. And I kind of believe him at this
No
point.
one's
I'm really
died.
feeling
No one
like
died on
his
Muzz
confidence
or
there is absolutely showing.
Skittles Trio. So
Ever since that team formed, it's just been out of this world. Let's switch gears for a little bit. A team that honestly,
ooh, Dash is on the split next to them.
through and through.
My sources
Contested
are good.
drops.
My
This team
sources.
was a lot
People on the
to
street
make.
say, no, something different's happening at Muzz's drops. No, why am I even pretending? Information. Like, why am I even trying to pretend? Muzz's
This
POA.
drop spot, but not no dash over on that side of the map. So chance to play these games out.
They're now when it comes down to, you know, again, fighting for globals right now, giving folks a run for their money, keeping eyes on that prize. Jojo Fishy, after a strong day one, this
is bad for Acorn. This is so bad for Acorn.
From both sides as well. Look at the pre-edit.
We let him just run away?
He's got the half.
What?
Someone took a step too much there.
This
for
is
sure.
bad. Okay, we don't want that team to die. We don't want Aoxy to die.
maybe he saw
If
the
Aoxy
eraser.
dies there, that's bad for Poyo. If you're a Poyo fan, you want this team to stay alive. This is our surge farm.
Today, you're not rewriting my story. That's up to me. Jojo Fishy Pikes.
He
Eoxy,
stood up.
Don't get
Sold.
it twisted because
Sold.
this was a team at the
But I'm glad they
beginning of
sold.
Yesterday, they were actually putting up a little bit of a fight. Third place, 11 eliminations, but they have to go through fights like this. A contested mountain, a little bit of a 50-50, and it's kind of
How
hard
does he
to come out
know?
on top.
Does he know? Think he's
Consistency
tap? Think he burn
when
up?
you're in
Yeah,
that
if you're a
type of
Poyo
scenario.
fan, you want Aoxy to live. You want him to win the spawn fight and then live. Because that's the team that trades with
Again,
Poyo.
coming into the day, our second place currently standing.
Harry with the prime of
Kanata,
7?
Rapid and Bolt.
So Cyrus got wiped, bro. Aoxy had 3 kills, so Cyrus is already down.
Nice little triangular
Here's to hear W. You're playing the OG Cup. Can you play? No, bro. We're watch partying FNCS, bro. What do you mean? We gotta see if Clicks wins or not. How do you get XP? You just have to. You have to.
Sway with
You
Brian?
have to like chat more. Like the more you chat, the more you'll get XP, or like the
Here we
more
go.
streaming.
Where's Aoxy? Is Aoxy on the mountain?
How it works.
Is Aoxy on the mountain? We're
Go
literally
Clicks, and if
sitting
Clicks
here
can't do it,
waiting
go
for them to
Blue
base
Red,
up.
go
Like,
Kanata,
bro.
Any of these
This is what I was
teams
telling you
I'll
about. They
like to
literally
see
have to
win.
sit here
Honestly,
and just
anybody up
pray
here
that
for
Aoxy's
y'all,
team
bro.
won, and they're gonna pop up on the mountain.
So
That is
repetitive
crazy.
with
Like
them.
they're just sitting here, just like waiting. Like, all right, guys, you come in. It's like it's so insane, bro. This meta is so dumb.
About it to start the show, Kelly, Vivid, Zeke,
They just have to wait.
19 eliminations for Agers, both him and Poyo.
Tito with the
in
tier 1 for
top
3.
10, I believe, 4 eliminations. They're accumulated a good amount of damage. It's just about the mental game that we feel like kind of went wrong after being contested, after being
They're not trading with feeds.
surprised
I don't
by
know
a
why
few
they're not
tricks.
trading with
It's
the
about how you
fields.
pick yourself up
I
and
don't
pull
know.
yourself back. We're
Oh,
talking
we've talked about
this
so
team
many
being
times,
a
Ty G.
day
It's just a
2
very,
team,
it's
and
an
they put
endless
themselves in
conversation, man.
contention with
But
their performance in day 1, even with those 2
I got this message.
The 2 times
Chat,
they
but
weren't in the lobby. The
I'm
other
not talking
days
about how
were
we can
first,
fix it. I'm just going to say that
fourth,
Fortnite is going to
fifth.
try. This is the last
Absolutely
season where Fortnite is just going to let it be like this.
incredible,
I'm so
you know,
convinced.
streaks
So.
as far as they make it out.
They will try suggestions that the Fortnite community has given. What's he? He's
dead?
dead?
That is surely
It makes the chat just get stuck on a 3 hours time. Deal with the Prime?
out the tunnel.
Yeah, I think like me. I want to see it as well. And Craig.
Really fine. That's why I have the command mode. It's a normal conversation. You're probably like, this is a great topic of conversation.
Another bit of
Everything's been said before.
Crazy,
a million times.
Game 5, but what went out in the final game of the day and keeping. I think it's like the last 4 majors they've won. Keeping that consistency intact. From the resistance base. From that current
Chad, you guys didn't see the stat today? Oh, the dual pistols. Sorry, this weekend. In Grants, he did almost 6,000 damage with pistols.
Let it slip away, but even if, so long as these teams kind of split up here, they'll be able to jump.
Oh. Bruh.
And Monty would be the one, exactly, because he's the one.
You
see
see
his two
truly with the
teammates
tier
already in
1.
the tower.
Fred wasn't surge trading, bro. Fred winning
kinda the
EU
typical
while being
setup
like
you
the
see for a lot of
least
these
trading of
bases.
any
Monty's
team is
down
honestly so
below, though.
impressive.
Monty's job right here
Can't
is
take
to
it away
find
from him, man.
heals, farm up any match
They played the way that everyone wants every other team to play and won it. Very respectable.
They're max mats, full health, all the resources they need.
Ooh,
He's also
Curve is
one
at
that's in a risky
Shogun?
scenario. Curve, Josh, and Tyler.
Curve is contest.
Talked about them
What?
as being one of the teams that kind of contest Rise, G-Money, and Aviv. It seems like they found a new spot to land at today. Shogun Solitude, and it looks like it's working out for them at the start of the game.
Oh, ooh. Oh, there we go. Visuals is trading with Poyo. Okay, sweet. That's a bit different.
Shout out to Visuals running that face cam for the broadcast. We love to see it. Gotta celebrate those that are giving us a nice show here.
Oh shit, it's Clicks.
The first ever 7-time FNCS champion, right?
Come on now.
But because 2 of them were like unofficial, it's kind of like not really, but it is, you know?
Some situation or another, whether
He bags with the Prime.
it be on the north side
Yes,
or now
Tommy.
here on the western
Alex,
area
the
of
GOAT.
map.
Bro, no way one of the youngest pros in the world. He's one of the youngest FNCS champions, and he's the first ever 7 times. Like, that's crazy. I know it's OC, but that's wild. Reba unofficial. 2 of Alex's FNCS wins. Technically, he never got given the FNCS title, but the teams that beat him were found to be cheating and were proven to be cheating while they beat him. So it's like, as a community, I think it's fair we accept that he did win it and he deserves it. But
in between usages, there goes his second. He's gonna be on that countdown yet again. But since there's no mobility on Gary, Angel, and Aimer, they had no choice but to let him go out. Maybe they'll see him later, but all they know is they have to focus on their own game plan here.
It's an early game fight here for Clicks, Pigs, and Yamzo right now. Yamzo leaving his team right on top of them.
Interesting.
I'm assuming they're thinking, yeah,
Interesting.
let's go ahead and get a move on. We'll
see
find
how this
plenty
ends
of
up.
opportunity
I
to
hope it
come
ends
here.
up well for them. Well, Yom's not even running an AR. All right. Let's see if we're Frodoxy, basically. The question will be answered today. Is Clicks Frodoxy? A lot of us had this concern that when Frodoxy won today, that maybe Clicks' team would get like the vibe of like, let's be Frodoxy, but we'll see. Maybe they can do it. Cold?
The teams that are landing near them in the zone are not
Cold crash?
to try to go for any
We didn't see Cold die, right?
As we tune in, Cold is already down. Don't know exactly.
People had the most points clutch as a solo on day 1, 39. It's actually not that many. 39 points clutch as a solo actually isn't that crazy for the most amount any player clutched. That's interesting. You would think with these meds and birds, solo clutching would be more prevalent, but 39 is the most any player solo clutched on day 1?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see anything in the feed, so I definitely missed it. But they shouldn't have any problems picking up Cold here and kind of getting their strategy back in motion. Uncontested though, consistently when it comes down to like security.
Chad, it's a pretty crazy accusation. I want like at least a little bit of evidence of that.
For them to just continue to have that consistent game plan of
Chad, let's not pretend the pros haven't been fucking crashing like flies this season. Like, I'm not saying he didn't get booted, if that is the case, but that's a crazy accusation based on nothing. In a game where a lot of pros are crashing right now.
Of those NPC eliminations, you see the superhero rank going up little by little. Basically got a full rank and
got
some
the pistol
off of that.
The pistol would have been really good if they were playing as a trio.
What do you
Could
want?
be good for the
I'll
solo
take
clutch
this. What do
though.
you want? All right, I'll take that. I'll trade you this. Ritual just making sure Peterbot has a comfortable loadout for the most part. That's also how they're getting their mobility throughout most of these games.
Clicks was trying to trade with Reed, but Reed wouldn't trade? Well, that doesn't sound right, but we'll see.
We saw them
that doesn't sound like the case, I feel like.
Firing shots,
Reed
trading
definitely
back
wants
and
to
forth
trade,
with
but we'll see.
Kanata early on, and this is kind of what their strategy has been throughout the day for Blake, Diego, and Oliver. Kind of stay in the zone, take advantage of some of these teams that are overstaying their welcome this far back, and since they have an abundance of heals, since they have that early game surge, they have a little bit more flexibility
Oh my God.
versus every other team that's roaming around right here.
That's my OG.
Like the setup right here where they are in.
Do you think he ate his 5 eggs and a banana, Chat?
Teams right now.
Do you think he gets? So do you think like OG like changes things for grands? Like maybe it's like 4 eggs and 2 bananas or something, or you think it's just the 5 eggs and a banana? Is that the famous vlogger?
This trio is going to be one of the few that are going to be early to the next.
It was 6 egg day, like, you know, it's gonna be like a bit more of an extra day. Yeah, so you like extra 1 egg. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, you guys have got the right vibes. Yeah, yeah. It's like treat yourself with an extra egg, you know.
They are surprisingly in a race to the top.
Yeah, I believe they didn't have too many bad games yesterday, just one. And it was the one that kind of started it all. Their run, 14th place, 1 elimination. Since then, every single game they had was inside of the top 8, including one of the wins that they did break down to start the show. But as we tune in, Muzz is down.
Cole did crash? Yeah, I thought so.
It looks like Cooper.
No, we know he crashed. It's just like, what did he? PC crash or like?
Rebooted, but it's Reed making sure they get that one off. But his time is limited. They build straight up. They're making sure they collect that elimination. But a third team,
Brady?
Third party from Clicks, Iamzo, and Higgs.
Clicks has got the Super Bowl. They are full king, and Higgs is dead.
A mistake has been made. Higgs goes down.
Bruh.
That's a huge wrench in their plan.
Not gonna lie,
we're literally running a Fury Hour and Super Bob. We have no intention of trading.
That pressure off of
I don't.
He was almost fully eliminated there. But how quickly did that just all unfold here? We have seen this.
We have gained no surge.
Break out multiple times.
We are definitely going to be
now,
below surge at some point this game.
Team, it's another lurking on the kind of opposing trio, just looking for opportunities.
Need Johnson with the prime?
I think yesterday was kind of very, very.
I gotta talk to
telling.
Blood X later today if he wants to. He might be down, he might not be.
Wide open space from the bottom of Flooded Frogs, almost all the way to Lone Wolf Flare, an equal distance to the east and west.
You see the prime?
Teams at the north
Buzz
side
down
of
as well.
the
That
map,
could be a
Muzz's
trade
team,
though. That could be a
Reed's team,
surge trade.
Clips' team. They're not having the same.
Oh, you mean Buzz
type
is
of
like
luck
gone?
they
Yeah, I don't know
had
actually.
into
Yeah.
This event, so they had to change up their
for the
strategy
reboot.
a little bit, and you're seeing it play out with a little bit more aggression in certain areas. Trying to attack where they can, but all three of those
I forgot you had the
teams
reboot, yeah.
are
Probably
near
made
the
the
top
feed
of
you guys
the
saw.
leaderboard, most of them inside of the top 10, and have a contention for the top spot on the leaderboard. Granted, some might be praying for the Peterbot downfall because he is so far ahead, but sometimes
Yeah, but that doesn't make much sense either, those Stokes.
Yeah, he's gonna need
He's
those
Sempole with the 5
eliminations.
gifted. Thank you, bro.
Runaway to make up for here in this last game. Last day of competition, I should be saying, but look at this. The Rapid trailing behind King's Trio. That's some dangerous work there, especially looking at how well Phaser in particular.
Oh, 3,000 subs today. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, homie. Thank you, man. 105 subs from 14,000. Thank you, Sempole. I appreciate you. Super generous.
His team.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all so much.
496 damage. Most of this, honestly, coming off the back of Braids. We were talking about the damage.
Bro, Braids did so much damage yesterday.
#1 damage leader after day #1.
Braids and Swizzy, the two pretty underrated damage deals over
some of these teams because they already have their global championship spot locked in. Close call here. Rise, G-Money, and Aviv, though. One team rotating right above them.
Advanced
Another
to tier
team
1?
right towards their east. But the use this time still trying to accumulate the surge. Even though they're 12,
He's 285 below because Cold Crash. This is what we needed for a spicy day 2, though. Cold Crash in game 1 is disastrous for Pete, but so good for the viewers. Unless you're a Pete fan.
Right here. This could be the
Yo, Oro, thanks for 10 gifted, man. 24 now. Thank you, dude.
Holy
Holy
shit.
shit.
In the middle. This is just textbook positioning here, but
Thank you, Oro.
underperform. If they don't hit the tags here, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, I know. You It's even slowly getting worse in its own right because that third-party team up above is slowly but surely trying to look over in this direction. A lot of places to hide going into Brutal Boxcars, so they do have a chance
this is
to
messy.
pick up on a golden
He's goes down
position
again.
here as well. You see them trying to go back into the space that they got early on. And just almost try to look
Zoe
at
takes down Sphinx though, so Clicks is fighting Muzz right now. Oh no.
And they probably got a feel of what's
Bro,
going
this
on
game
right
is
now, and it
spicy.
looks like Surge has activated every 7 seconds. Now Ritual
Kings
and
gets
Peterbot
finished.
have officially been put on the clock.
And you know they're hearing that shield break.
Clicks goes down, Zoe solo.
The telltale sign for the bottom trio, and the bottom trio has to know it's Ritual and Peterbot pushing them as they're in. You mentioned it yesterday.
I thought they had the same. I thought Clicks had the same delay as the broadcast.
What
does this say?
So, you know,
7 seconds left. Oh, wait, he's doing a longer delay than the broadcast now. Oh my god. Wait, this delay is so long. What the fuck? Well, okay.
Yeah, and
Look at live chat, I feel like.
It does deactivate. It got below the number of teams for that zone, but you can see instantly pops on yet again, and they're further below that damage threshold than I feel like they have ever.
Oh, nice,
been
Ava. I'll grab it in a second, bro.
FNCS
Thanks, man.
finals, or at least in recent memory. They're really going to have to figure it out, but they do have time. You see, as we tune into Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, where the zone is actually going, it's not
Come on,
too far
Kanata.
away from
Come on,
Little
Kanata.
Boxcars. So in that 1 tick damage zone, it is going to continue to stay that way for at least one more.
Like the positioning here from Kanata Rapid Bolts. They're just gonna.
This is good for Poyo. This is good for Poyo. It's good for Poyo. It's good for Vive. Good for Kanata.
Playing deep in the storm right now. No Clicks and Higgs. Things just devolving for this team here. Not looking good by any means, but
boy.
hey, Yamzo's still got a chance to go ahead and recover.
I mean,
and
if we reboot them, we're gonna go below Surge.
Nice little rotate here from Laporta. Gonna give him some distance, but there's just so much happening in this northern area.
Like if anybody can do it as a solo and get his team back up, it is Yamzo. 37 solo clutch points yesterday, keeping them, I believe, over that 200-point mark. But it's just got exponentially harder with the time that passes. He still has to worry about Storm Surge. He has the surf cube, and he's literally just surfing up and over. It could be a good opportunity with now 2 teams distracted for him to try to make that attempt to go for the reboot card back. Booga Craze, Threats.
Kill, yeah. Pete's fragging, bro. Pete's getting their Surge back.
And honestly, the only time I feel like they're not quick is when they're rotating.
Nah, only when they're rebooted. You lose Surge when they're rebooted, not when they die.
Oh, look at the
booted with a
update
tier
there.
1.
Muzz Shadow Sphinx officially eliminated our 6th place team, allowing the rest of the top 5 to somewhat maintain the lead at this current time here.
There goes Zoe. Oh my god. Oh boy. Pete and Ritual is a duo. I can outplace this game. Clicks and Muzz.
Elimination right here.
That's big for the
They are
leaderboard.
right on the team of Mason. They were fighting.
How
in the
they've
storm
literally
to make
gotten
it to
Surge as a
the
duo.
next area. Take a look at the highlight.
Pete was
here as they come in.
400 below.
Was that off the chin? Straight into the box. Wrap it up so quick here.
They must still be below them. Pete's gonna have to fight.
453
below. Never mind, they did not get their Surge as a duo. Never mind.
Below 453. They essentially
Bro, the fact that it's literally just impossible to get above Surge as a duo with Surge trading is crazy. Yo, Richie got the fuck in. Oh my god, Richie. What the fuck? Bro, they can't be stopped. The goats, dude. Richie just got the fuck in. That's my goat. Get him, Richie.
Feel the pressure alleviate, but they know that's going to switch up if they don't continue that upward
Damn.
trend of damage.
Tat, what's the opposite of a sneaky golem
Oliver's team
in
know.
Clash?
They know exactly who was in the middle there.
What's like the alpha just straight run it down play?
That's going to be very interesting. Oyo, Agers, Acorn make an early rotate here, giving up their positioning to go ahead and play a little bit more center.
Cherry.
Possibly targeted.
Maybe
Maybe someone
Night?
broke
Nice.
their base
All
from
right.
below, but
Hog Rider?
really something wasn't sitting right with them.
Alright, seems like there's no
Previous
consensus
spot now.
here, so I can't really use that as a
That
meme
off
then.
They go straight, early rotate to the new zone, utilizing those dashes almost perfectly. Peterbot Ritual.
By the way, chat, I have had Ritual agree. We're going to do a stream at some point this week, him teaching me how to play Clash.
Wait around. They have to fight here.
See if Pete's down as well, but Richie said he's down. I've never played the game before.
He has a monster. There's no team in this lobby that's going to get this type of situation ever again with them going down. I don't even know when he kind of disappeared out of it overall, but they're a duo. They got to take them out. They got to cut down that 53-point lead. And I don't think anybody has been in a position to start to feel confident. They've been through 2 different teams so
Now, is he
far.
gonna put you on? Bro, I'm scared of mobile games, bro, because like they're so addictive. If they're good, like you can play them wherever you are. It's bad. It's fine. I'll do it. I'll do it.
They're starting to fall below the damage threshold and a max pull for this next zone. If they figure out a way out of this, I'm not sure anything's gonna be able to stop them in this game.
Yeah, well, clearly they're going to be able to make the rotate, but the damage is obviously going to be extremely concerning. But
I didn't call die, he crashed, man.
Wait, if we go through this tunnel, we lose all the time on the clock.
I don't know how Pete and Richie have actually managed to. Okay, never mind. Now we're a little bit below. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, the fact that this is... Oh, and we're 252 below now. Wow. This is just...
got to either back up Peterbot here or something, but...
Bruh.
Peterbot clutching in.
Can we get the S rank to get that cash for the loot?
It's still not enough. It's actually Reach Trio who's on the other side.
Wait, Reed's below as well.
The damage being
Dude, Reed and Clicks just... I don't even know what they're going to start doing, man. There's something going on weird there, bro. They just have to trade with each other. I don't understand what's happening.
Look at
Hey,
this.
Bogan with the tier 1.
258. Oh, an all or nothing. 50-50. Ritual is going to get taken down. Peterbot now with his back up against the wall. 269, falling further and further. 306. It gets worse. And now his last usage of that misform going to be used. He dives straight towards a whole nother team being exposed down below. His only chance to get sprayed.
Nice. Oh my... How are we not dead? Oh, we are going to be dead, though. Surge. I mean, hey, we got 4 kills at least. 22 points. Oh, Surge is gone. Surge is off. We're alive. How are we alive? In what universe are we alive here?
You can see he's got that warrior spirit. He does not give up at all. Fighting through and through to the very end. It's Curly's Trios below him now. Just trying to think back. Did he miss any loot?
Bro, how are we alive here, man? Plot armor?
Now going for the scout here.
Dude, it's starting to feel like it.
King's Trio makes a move here. Might be time to rotate, but he needs some type of mobility. It's only going to get tougher and tougher.
Rise is fully down? Wait, Rise's whole trio is down. Dude, this leaderboard is shaking up like crazy. This is so good for Pollo. So good for Pollo and Kanata.
But there's still a chance, right? For the
There's Pollo on the high ground. I did call the Pollo game 1 win. Let's see.
This is their chance.
Did I call it? Oh, Visual's coming up, though. Visual's coming up. Visual's coming up.
On the backside, Visual's braids diminished. Acorn,
Oh.
Agers, and Pollo.
Oh, Visual's got shit on. Why do we skip off that? That was clean. Agers just shit on Visuals. Pollo.
31 damage above threshold before it does deactivate. Did everything they needed to do.
Oh my god, Pollo win.
The remaining players of that trio just gave it up. They have no hope because they're outnumbered.
Acorn was just on his old man time, you know, looking down, connecting his base.
Old man time?
Block building up top. And
Yo.
Agent's like, bro, what's going on, dude? You got
Yo, chilling Abdullah. What the fuck?
and saves the day. My gosh, that's gonna be quite an opportunity for him to look back on and kind of reevaluate.
Yeah, it took ages to show what was going on, Merits.
I did see it in the feed that Peterbot did go down about 15th place. So we talk about placement points coming in, that being the tool as a solo.
He down. You got a bit of placement at least.
But only getting 15th place, that's only 2 placements worth of points. So there is a lot of time and effort right now for any one of those teams below him on that leaderboard to start to close the gap.
Oh my gosh, the Pollo win. Bro, this grand's about to be cinema. There's no way this is how game 1 goes. Like, you couldn't script a better game 1 for the storyline. Maybe if Clicks had a huge pop-off as well, but... Bro, cold crashing so Pete has like a lower point game and then Pollo wins one to like be back in the running. Like, bruh. Come on, this season is so scripted.
Close the gap. But what happens when they end up taking
first,
if they can take first, is they are gonna put a target on their back, and that's where things are gonna have to get even more difficult for them. Rapid taking a lot of damage here. He's gonna be the first to get knocked here. Kanata the box too fast, and then caught up as
Oh
well.
no! Oh no! This is our chance. This is our chance, man.
Only in 13th right now. He hasn't really earned much. Talk about not necessarily taking advantage of the opportunity presented here and now. It's Agers, Acorn, and Pollo who are doing the most with this chance here.
Cooper's still in it though as well. Cooper's in it here too.
Over 100 down below the damage threshold, and now they're putting themselves closer and closer to the driver's seat.
Yo, in it. Thanks for 5 gifted, bro. Thanks, man. Are you a Peter hater? I don't get it. Someone yesterday said I was the biggest Peter Glazer of all time, bro. So, welcome to trying to cover a Fortnite tournament, man. You think I hate Peter? People think I dick ride Peter. I love it.
Kelly talked about the resurgence, the new bolts, almost like the NA West Championship winning bolts back at it, and this is a perfect time to prove himself. At least 4 teams worth of placement points, now 5 as he gets into the top.
Get down. Decent game for them though. A minute-ish. Visuals, Braid, 7 HP.
I like the little play here to dip back into the storm as the zone bounces back, trusting that things are going in his favor, and he does have that miss for him to go ahead and escape out. And this is a clutch coming out of him right now from 13th when his team fell down, now into 7th, and he's still pushing through.
Come on, Bolts. Come on, Bolts.
Can he find an impact elimination?
Come on, Bolts. We didn't have too many crazy solo clutches yesterday. Let's get an insane one from Bolts here.
Sitting super pretty. Cooper Reed and Curly trying to take advantage here of the opportunity to just rack up eliminations. That's the name of the game right now.
Wait, Bolts is still going.
He's getting active in the low ground.
I don't know where he's at, but he's not dying. There he is. Come on, Bolts. Come on, Bolts. Oh my god, they're all griefing each other. Go, Bolts.
Need to find a way to let the dust settle and get those heals off, but there's players above them. There's players down below. One of them being a full trio.
Oh, get a top 6, Bolts. Top 5. Bolts on backside. Bolts using the birdies. Bottom right, Chase. Bottom right. Go, Bolts.
Creating more space as Agers and Poyo have dropped down low. Now they're playing Disruptor. They're making sure nobody has a chance to heal.
I fucking hate myself.
It's
fine, chat. Don't worry. I hate myself as much as you do. It's all good.
Back to the lobby. Top 5 now for Reed Curly Cooper. Back into the mountain this end game goes. This is
Yo, I called the game 1 win though.
Ending here if we've ever seen one. Meanwhile, misformed plays.
Cole Poyo to win game 1.
Misplaced way deep into the storm. Donnie with the jumping shot there onto Cooper's gonna go and find himself elimination.
Yo, this is the freest win ever for Poyo right now. Jeez.
Kind of being thrown into the mix here. Low ground. Now trying to kind of gather his bearings, downloads what he needs to.
Sinead over, wait, Cam.
Oh, to keep him in the game, and
go Cam. Blue Cam slam.
And there it is, Curly, the last alive. But Agers,
yo, let's go. 14 elim win, 11 on Agers. Elimination, Vic Roy. Let's go, baby. The V-Bug giveaway Agers. Remember, it's a double S. A-J-E-R-S-S Agers. You guys want some V-Bucks? Type the word Agers in chat. My man is the GOAT right now.
100 points down.
Let's go.
That first place spot, and guess what? This game they scored over 100 points to close that gap.
Yeah, that was just a game and a half for Acorn, Poyo, and Agers, and they managed to do it again 2 days in a row where they start things off with a victory royale. This is
Let's go, baby. This team is crazy as shit. I'm so excited, man. This game is going to be so spicy.
They have a lot of success when this team is not in the lobby. There's just so much influence that they lay down.
And I know people are going to start flaming Acorn as well, but 0 kills, bro. This is a better point than ever. But if this Acorn wins this FNCS again, this is going to be the 5th time I've been told that Acorn got carried to an FNCS win. I think my man is just the fucking GOAT leader, bro. I swear. Everyone who plays with him just levels up.
What a way to start this tournament.
All right, 10 more seconds and we'll call the giveaway.
Guys, was it not enough to win game 1 yesterday? Now we come back and win game number 1 of day 2. And such a lot.
Think he did?
To go for that heal off if
necessary. I know, almost 40k viewers. I appreciate y'all chat and YouTube.
Little things like I don't know if you guys saw.
Oh shit, my new peak on YouTube, 20k.
His possession of things
appreciate y'all
really
chat.
Crazy.
You guys are amazing. It's gonna be a good day.
Oh my gosh, a statement.
Jay with a 57.
Has been made, friends. A statement has been made.
The start of that statement definitely had to have been when they ramped up for height, and we see Visuals Trio ramping up just behind them. And for a moment, they weren't even turning around. It looked like Acorn, Pollo, and Agers were going to
Agers
lose
was
height
beaming.
as soon as they took it, but they immediately turned around. Agers responded so well.
Yeah, unlucky for Pete with Cold crashing though. Good for the storyline, but that would piss me off so much,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, when you look at the statistics, when you look at the eliminations, everybody's gonna be like,
Thank you,
wow,
baby. I'll
he
get
was
the second
the
bombs waiting.
MVP of that game, right?
Hey, you
Picking up
tipsy?
solo 11 eliminations, and yeah, absolutely. But that play that Kelly's talking about,
You offered a
Agers
job as
was
one of the
actually
casters, would you take
able
it?
to take the 1v1 the Visuals to kind of ford off that 3v3 that was about
Does
to
he
happen
know?
on the high ground. That
Thank you,
for
Ty
me,
Caffrey with
is
Brian
why
the
he was
13.
the MVP of that game. He defended the high
I
ground.
like what I
He
do here,
defended
man.
his trio
I love what
as
I do
a
here. I
whole.
wouldn't trade it for anything,
And
man.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
I mean,
blessed.
I called for it. We called for it. Kelly.
Yeah.
My hair was completely overprocessed right before my wedding. So I started taking Wellbell. It grew out and I was able to style my hair the way I wanted.
6-7 years ago, I used to hate my hair. Now we are in a whole different journey where I
Welcome back, everyone, to Grand Finals, Day 2 of the FNCS. We knew that Day 2 would provide some entertainment. And coming into this day number 2, Pollo, Acorn, Agers, 100 points behind Peterbot. But after a little something like a Game 7 victory out to start the day, we're 10 points ahead of Peterbot! It's happening! Kelly, it's happening!
Yeah, at the start of the show, when I said that history was repeating itself, I was talking about Major 2 to Major 3, not Day 1 to Day 2. So that means that Agers, Acorn, and Pollo are going to get the next victory royale as well, possibly. But honestly, I got to give the floor to Vivid, because Vivid, you called it at the start of the show. Agers, Acorn, Pollo needed that mental reset, and that's what we got.
Worked out perfectly for them. I mean, Agers dropped 11 eliminations. Beautiful stuff there, but it's going to be on the back foot, right? Them kind of losing the lead, and Peterbot there. Storm Surge was rough that game, right? They're kind of used to going, head to head, shotgun, box to box, wall to wall. But no, like these games were completely different today in the sense that, like yesterday, when we were in first, second zone, it was like, whoa, there's already 75 people alive. This is getting quite, a lot of eliminations are going down. And then today, in game number 1 of the day, there was like 90 players alive at that same exact moment. So a lot more passive play style. But I mean, jumping right into the end game, Kelly. Bolts kind of holding on for the trio with that solo clutch. Incredible stuff from him.
I just want there to be some kind of highlight reel showing the bolts that we had for Major 1 and then the bolts that we have for Major 3, because I would never guess that this is the same player. He is playing absolutely lights out today and all of yesterday as well. When it comes down to solo clutches, there's honestly rarely anyone better than what we've seen bolts be able to do. Not able to get the game that they wanted exactly, but honestly, even if you're in a shambles situation, being able to put yourself up even just a little bit is exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, they're fighting for those few spots, right? And again, all these trios are doing the same thing, right? They're just saying, here's what we got given this game. I'm going to try and make something out of it. To put up a solo clutch like that, especially in the first game of the day, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, these next 5 games, this trio is going to pop. Cooper Curly also showing up here in this last game. Man, oh man, we do still have ground to cover, right? The job's not done, but now we're in top 10 right now. So I'm very excited to see these guys. Again, I'm wanting to see what all these trios are improving upon, right, in day number 2. And for this trio, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
It's better late than never. And if you look at the first 5 games that they had yesterday, it was not looking too good for them, although they still were able to get a few eliminations. But it was that final game of the day where they got second place with 8 eliminations, where they finally started to turn things around. And I love that we finally get to see them up in our top 10 leaderboard, because being able to convert that minor success in day 1 into another success for day 2 is so pivotal.
At the end of the day, all I can do is learn, and be better tomorrow will be a different story, quote unquote Cooper on socials. And I can tell you right now, he definitely learned a lot yesterday and was definitely better already today. We also got Booga, Threats, and Craze still kind of maintaining towards the top of the leaderboard right now. Although, you know, they did close the gap to that qualification spot, right? We kind of entered today. They were 30 points behind. Now they are only 12. I saw them jumping around in the late game as well, but they became victims to the old Agers up on the higher ground. He was providing a little bit too much damage with the rifle up there. Can't blame him.
Yeah, as far as loadouts go, this is definitely one of the rougher ones we see. He does have the exotic pistol, but as far as Craze, who's usually the double key fragger of the trio, he was a little bit left with a weak loadout. And unfortunately, they weren't able to get those eliminations that we know that they are able to do. But still, we talk about consistency for this trio, and they are still consistently making it to the end game, although this definitely being one of their weaker games that we've seen. But still, 5 games, we have so much more to go, Zeke.
Yeah, look, this is just the feeler game, right? It's just the first game of the day. We're all warmed up. Now it's serious time. Everyone, let's all land on Peter Bot. Anyway, let's go back to our gas search for game number 8 of the FNCS.
Already after 1 game, Monster, this entire tournament continues to heat up. I wanted a close one and we got it. 10-point lead for first and second place, and Booga, Threats, and Craze have even closed that gap for a global championship spot by 12.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at Acorn, 3 victory royales, and then second place Peter Boss Trio, no wins at all. The best they've gotten is a second and a lot of thirds. So just really showing the different caliber, the different play styles, and different journeys they're going through to make their statement here on the standing. So with game number 8, let's see it all go down. One more time, let's get on the bus here and see if whether or not Acorn and team will be faced with resistance. It almost feels like a coin flip every single game. We just don't know what we're going to get. Clearly, we know there is that target on their back. They seem to be the most consistent trio on the NA region and probably even the globe.
Yeah, my eyes are literally glued to that drop map right out of the gates. I'm trying to see who's contested, who's going where, what type of spin on that wheel are we going to see, where a surprise contest will happen. But business as usual, G-Money, Aviv, Rise, they get it one more time to themselves. Potential Spire spawning near them as well, so they're going to get themselves a chance at a good game. They also have the Research Lab at their access, the Rift to go ahead and rotate around, but this is the 50-50 I have my eyes on from top to bottom. You just go ahead and dive your way down, but Cyrus is going to get the first down on Deoxy, and his 2 teammates have no choice but to just leave and hope for the best.
Yeah, this is the first time they actually fall this early in a way that they kind of didn't even get to put up a fight. But this is the way it goes down at times. They've seemed to have made, yeah, I was going to say, a little clean break, though. Off to the outskirts they go. Look to go ahead and get their loot together, possibly re-engage. Jumping into this here. Man, just no break for Bryce Dash and Skittles. Unfortunately getting slept here. Once again, just tough, right? And this is still their general area. It's not like they don't understand how to play these zones or win these drops. I mean, the resistance base, they're so familiar with this entire landscape here.
Yeah, and if I was Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx, I would start to get a little worried because as Skittles and his entire trio don't necessarily get the consistency they had from day one, it's more likely than not they might start to make their way closer and closer back to the resistance base. We saw them win contested fights at least once. We saw them split the drop, stay alive, and be able to make it towards their end game. So that's the type of mental struggle some of these players might be going through when it comes to these drop spots, when it comes to starting out some of these games. We're seeing the limits they're stretching right now. Acorn not even landing at Demon's Domain itself. They know they're uncontested, so they're going in searching. They know players landed back here. They saw it off that drop spot, so they're trying to figure out exactly where they're at. Acorn, the IGL of the team, is going to be the first to spot him out.
Ooh, that's a nice tag right there. 41, no shield on the opponents down low. But you blink, you might get put down. Boyo quickly rotates into the rescue here to back him up. Here comes the shots from up top. Nice little knock. That's going to be a great elimination here. And I just look at these as just, you know, buffer, right? A little extra room, little padding on the scoreboard, given that they just have such a narrow lead over everyone else right now.
That was good for Pollo to kind of just close the distance quickly there just to make sure that he didn't run away because his teammate was there. They might not necessarily know it, but we see he did have some backup on the way. Canyons crossing though. This is one of those fights, Monster. When I look at it, you almost have to finish it quick. That team that we saw start the game on top of the mountain, Shogun, Solitude, and everybody that lands around Crime City, Outlaws, Oasis, and the split drops towards the outside tend to rotate in this direction. And because Canyons Crossing has a little bit of a divot with mountain ranges on both sides, it's easy for players to lurk on over, figure out what's going on, assess the situation, and decide if they want to play for it or not.
Yeah, definitely. You see teams get farmed for tags all about this area when they're rotating. Peterbot already making a move up. This is very reminiscent of the last majors. That early rotate up towards the Lone Wolf. They know how to play this out. They know there's good opportunity to find a somewhat of an ambush set up here.
Looking scary. They've done this before. Remember last major? It was a whole different team landing over at the Lone Wolf Lair, but they have made almost this exact lurk play from the other side of Lone Wolf Lair. It's King, it's Phaser, it's PH, the ones that really have to watch out here. And they know this terrain just as good as any, and you can see the position on the minimap of that trio they're inching towards. They're split out. They're not close together. One of them can easily try to go down, so I want to see King with that high ground really utilize it, try to spot out the team, but they're inside of the layer, so now I feel like there's no hope until it's too late.
Yeah, and I doubt they're going to make any type of noise indication here while King is full farming here. Look at this, jumps down. This might be even worse for him. Sure, he's getting with his teammate, but a 3v2 is all Peterbot needs for the setup here. There's another team behind them as well, so I mean, this could go either way.
Trying to see where the zone actually is, because it kind of pulls towards the north. We're keeping the west side in the zone. The island could go there, which is what they go after. They wait for Phaser to use the launch pad and immediately beam to take him down. And you see in the minimap, they're just trying to disengage. His two teammates aren't even necessarily together. That's exactly what they were looking for. The island on this side of the zone. They got distracted, but the lurkers are now becoming the lurked. Clixie, Amzo, and Higgs are making the same exact play.
This is just comedy unfolding. Working in tandem at this point. They don't realize their team's already kind of gone, but their minds definitely moving in the right direction. How can you put yourself in a position to obviously catch these teams off guard? And if they somehow end up crash coursing even on Clix's trio here just in a couple moments, that'll be devastating in its own. But nope, they catch PH in off guard, and just a matter of time. It's not looking good. You see how good the lasers are too, Jacob, especially in the early game like this when you have the opportunity to really put it to use.
They know. They know, though. They know exactly. They probably saw that first elimination in the feed. Peterbot picked that up. They lurked over to Lone Wolf to try to get him. They ran into King Phaser PH teams yet again. And as soon as they heard that riff, they knew they already have high ground. They're already towards the island. It would be a bad play to go over there and try to contest that. So they're going to continue on with the rest of the game. Hopefully the zone pulls in their favor, and that could be a second moment for them to try to strike.
It almost looks like they want to stay at the Lone Wolf. We'll end up seeing how that works out for them. A little update here with Duga, Craze and Threats. 32 points already earned on the day, so pretty strong start. But it's all about staying consistent for them. They want that global championship spot that we know is prestigious and up for grabs right now. One thing's for sure, though, Kanata wants it too. They are definitely leagues ahead right now on the scoreboard here. About a game's worth in the distance. And then you have G-Money's team. They're trailing right behind. So who all is going to take those last couple spots here is definitely one of the bigger questions.
Ooh. Not sure they know, but that was some great shots. Across the map from Clixiamzo and Higgs. They're getting Lone Wolf player is in the zone. So contrary from how we saw Clixiamzo and Higgs play towards in that last game and a couple of the games yesterday, getting aggressive, trying to play for a Storm Surge, they're kind of switching it up. They realized, hey, we went down a little earlier than we hoped in that last game. It wasn't a part of our game plan. We didn't expect it. So now they're trying to slow things down, put a pause on everything, recollect themselves, and play exactly like we're watching Cold Ritual and Peterbot play here for Surge. Let it other teams make those mistakes that you can then capitalize on.
Yeah, Cole just throwing out markers right now, trying to see if he can fish for any trios. Haven't caught a break yet.
Yeah, no real reason for some of these teams to move too much. They do get the zone priority pool. It is favoring, I think, them mostly for the center map. Haven't seen it overall. And the same thing with Blake's team on the other side, but it looks like they might be getting lurked on by Madden and his trio. So hopefully they don't lose too much focus and tunnel on Kanata's team around the map when they got something to worry about. It does look like Oliver got separated. And it seems like a whole fight is breaking down. And this is where Kanata and them are going to take full advantage to try to get as much surge out of this as possible.
Madden V gets the knock onto Oliver OG, but that was super close for Kanata to snipe that one up.
I like that coming out of Bolts. 18 points, solo points in that last game, making them the #1 player in terms of solo clutch points for the game. And you got to think Rapid and Kanata got to start be feeling a little bit more confident with each and every game that passes, saying, hey, we might have to do less. Bolts is doing the most, especially when it comes to those solo opportunities. But we saw Oliver G go down in the feed across the map early on. 3v2 here. Blake trying to fight back. You see he's burning through his materials, changing layers, trying to stay alive, inadvertently separating a little bit too much from Diego plays. He's trying to find his way back.
Diego looking to back him up, though, trying to find an angle. It's still a 3v2, though. This is not easy by any means, but Blake flexing his capabilities right now, but still, it's not going to be enough as Liam just a little too aggressive for his liking here. Gets the better of him. And then you know that Kanata Trio's just watching this, chipping away shots here at the builds and whatnot.
I feel bad for Diego plays. He's in such a rough spot here. There's so much ammo in those Spire rifle clips. You can literally spray for days. You chain him with your teammate. There's no chance for Diego to kill. Now they're playing for piece control on the walls. Liam bites off just a little bit more than he could chew. He gets taken down to 65 HP. You see Diego trying to take advantage, get aggressive. But the numbers game, there's just too much sometimes. 3v1. They're eventually able to take him down. And not only claim all the loot, but claim that position on top of the mountain.
Shotgun in hand, they were ready. And this zone, too, is starting to favor slightly to the north, so this is going to be even more favorable for them as far as, like, holding this mountain is concerned, especially if those elims right there, pushing them up and over into, like, a comfortable area for overall damage. That's going to be big. Muzz, Sphinx, Shadow. Looking for their exchanges right now. Still sticking true to the resistance base, though. Kind of questionable, I would say, though, for them to be here this long. I have to assume that their damage is probably not the best, so they'll likely need to get into a fight here soon.
Yeah, especially more so. They already pushed that one team off. Kind of imagining the feed, watching them kind of play it all out. It's King, Phaser, Peach, and all three of them back up. Not necessarily the best shape, but at least they've given themselves a chance. And they know there's footsteps here. That's Sinetto, Cam, and Osid on the other side. A team that could be a little scary to fight. We saw them qualify through the group stages, consistency through and through until they got that win. So they know they can play both sides of that coin. They know how to turn on when they need to. And rightfully so, it looks like they're pushing out King, Phaser, and PH Sin's team, even probably forcing them to take that railing all the way to Brutal.
Well, if it's practice you want, it's practice you get for King, Phaser, and PH Sin. This is what they signed up for as they jumped into this NA region. They're in 13th right now, the team clashing with them in 14th, so somewhat meeting their match here and now. Like the move to the Brutal, pick up this vending, and get them right back in the game right now.
And this is one of the few teams that might actually know this, Monster, is Peterbot's team took them down, rushed for the island, didn't worry about his Brutal Boxcar Spire. So now, fresh off the reboot, they know Peterbot is nowhere in sight towards Brutal Boxcars, giving them a chance. This, my friend, is one of the best chances you're going to get off spawn, getting access to one of those Spires. They're instantly starting to upgrade that superhero rank. They're going to get a whole lot of loot, mobility, in which they didn't have. So I'm interested to see how far they're able to take this game with a huge second chance. Rise, G-Money, and V making that far rotation outside of Outpost, across Foxy, trying to get into the zone. They're beating a few teams back there, and since they were kind of shooting back and forth with one of those teams, they could realistically position themselves on one of these mountain ranges to continue to look back like they're doing now.
Yeah, definitely got to play for key positioning here. You don't want to get caught between these valleys like Braids and Diminish, almost forced to go deeper into the storm. Little fight, including here, seems like. Tyler, Curve, and Josh trying to jump in, but whoa, what happened there? Must have been a crack in the build. Someone squeezed some shots, and it's Aaron's trio. Oh, yeah, it's a full team as they were going to finish up blue, but just, I guess, got a little too tunnel vision there. That's going to be Raz for them.
It's only one way into those labs underneath and multiple ways out. Sometimes it's not even worth the risk, and you see why. Teams waiting on the outside. There's sometimes some grids that you can't even necessarily build on there as well. It's a good spot to plan ahead and really try to get that sneak attack, which they did find success onto one. And you're seeing exactly why they're going for plays just like that, Monster. Only 68 damage above the threshold. Even though it's early on, we know that's going to change in the blink of an eye.
Back and forth right now. Seems like the Jig duo made it out of the lab itself. They have a chance to kind of fight this one off here. A couple bandages, though, to give them a little bit of room. Fred's team doing the same here, so be all or nothing here shortly.
Luckily for them, they got a lot of heals at least. See, even though you kind of diminish your chances at going to heal off, which you haven't really seen too many of throughout this weekend, you're just kind of cutting down a possible scenario if it ever does come down to it. We saw them go for this island early on, and what a right decision it was, because they're able to get at least one medallion in the hands of Peterbot, the one that's really going to take an individual skill level and kind of increase it tenfold. You see the invisibility, it negates fall damage, you move quicker, jump higher, faster, and something like his hands. We've seen some clutch plays before, kind of looking for him to really make those clutch plays here again. And from on top of the island, with every team having to rotate in through the east, through the south, they're going to get a bird's eye view of every single player rotating in their direction.
A little replay from King. The fight goes down, and Cam's trio meets them here at the Brutal Boxcars, and it just full-on collide with one another there. That's going to be huge for them. I think that should surely push them up into A, possibly even S rank if they caught that Spire. Just think about the benefits of that. That HP increase, of course, is going to be super beneficial. Even that the zone might actually become a 2-tick. Hold up. They need to start moving ASAP.
What do we have here? 220 above the damage threshold. A little proactivity in this game. We saw them lurking around, not necessarily staying towards the north side. Supernova Academy taking those early game fights like we saw in a couple of games throughout the tournament so far. Trying to change things up yet again. In some ways, trying to hit that reset button, and so far working out. We're able to take that slow roll and approach to get that knock on the Seek, but you see them trying to fight their way through. Joji's playing defensive, trying to save the body. Donnie is as well, and he lands a good shot onto Clicks to try to slow things down, and more teams are now rotating into the zone in this direction to make it tougher and tougher for anybody to try to clean up the eliminations.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not sure if Clicks' team recognized that there is 2 teams shooting in from the outskirts here. They were moving as if it was just a clean 3v3, but there's so much more happening here than just that. And oh, wow. That pressure from the laser, of course, forcing them off here. And now that could have gotten really bad for Clicks, but hey, things settle for a second here. They got to go. Zone's doing 2 ticks of damage, so it's definitely not the spot that you want to be in right now.
And depending on what the heals are, you don't want to dig into that Chug Jug too early. Max pull coming out. You want to try to save as much of those heals, the HP as possible. But it does look like it has to come out. It looks like it's only heal they do have in their inventory, maybe saving possible med miss for later to take position in zone. A huge strategy that we've seen really play out since the return of those med miss smokes. On the other side of the map, going through a very, very similar and tough rotation. Agers, Acorn, and Pollo. They completed the hat trick in terms of victory royales during this FNCS, but it's about proving the point. It's about winning another championship.
That immediate competition right there of Aviv, G-Money, and Rise rotating past Pollo, Agers, and Acorn. I want to see if they go for another high ground hold early. Oh, big damage coming in from Pollo there. Saw the quick medallion swap, though, to get that HP to fly right back up. And that's the strength of the medallion. G-Money should know better to leave open walls like that, but they take a little damage there before rotating out. Oh, they didn't like that. They're turning right onto Pollo. Agers, opening things up, giving them some space to work with. Finds a little side angle onto Rise, and then behind Aviv, and Ager, game sense coming in full effect here, but he knows he can't stay inside the storm. It's just doing too much damage. He's trying to utilize the dashes to get around, support his teammates, but they're both down now. And this is just going south very fast here.
For both teams, for that matter, because Agers was able to not only get the elimination cleanup on the Rise, he gets another one onto Aviv as well. 1v1. No matter who comes out alive in this situation, both of them kind of second guessing probably this decision. G-Money's going to go ahead and try to disengage on out, or at least try to make the attempt, but he was so low on HP. Yep, he gets cleaned up. It turned into a 5-tick. So for Agers, he does have all these heals, but he is on the clock to try to get out to see what he has left.
Yeah, it's crazy because he hit S rank right as that happened, and then G-Money falls to the storm naturally, so it was perfect. He gets the Siphon to kind of stay in the game here, and this is why he's waiting this one out a bit. But you know the lobby had to have heard something happening inside the storm, and they'll be waiting for them. But that's going to be a potential lead given back to the rest of the lobby to play for. Cooper Curly Reap. Much to be desired here in this game, but they have the zone right now. They have a little bit of damage, but not too much. They can sit idle here.
Literally what we were talking about, one mistake in games like this and stack lobbies that are this close could cost you anything. It was only 10 points of differential between first and second going into this game. Even third was less than 50 points overall, more than enough to change the tide because it's outside of the placement points so far. Last we saw was about 19 teams still left alive. Still 19 teams in the game, but one does go down. Craze was the one that did get cleaned up. It's only guessings. That might be Booga, Craze, and Threats out of the lobby.
Old Peterbot Ritual, the first to play for a little bit of that elevated high ground here. I like this positioning. I think they are recognizing, too, they need a win. And, whoa, little delivery from Donnie there. Insta elimination, too. Notice Code wants his team, though, before he goes to even dares to look at that loot there. There's a bit too much going on beneath them.
Yeah, no knock. Straight elim. Booga, Craze, and Threats officially out. around 19th place, so no placement points for them so far. As Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs are feeling the pressure from across. A bunch of players spraying their way in. They're trying to get off that bottom layer, but Clix does a good job. Not only getting the shield down, but leaving them with just a sliver of HP, but it's more than one. It's more than two. It's almost 3 to 4, 5 even teams shooting in this direction. Yamzo's going to go down. You see the material count relatively low. No hard mats. They're building in wood. That's a huge sign of weakness. The spray is relentless, and I don't think it's going to stop.
It's Peterbot Trio from up top. They're kind of initiating this. They're almost signaling to the lobby, get in here, add that damage, and they just get focused right back to the start of the game. PH Zin also had a little bit of an influence on that one. And that's just tough, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this entire pocket right here, bad news, bad business.
I feel so bad because I've been in that situation. I'm not even a 10th of the way as skilled as these players, but I've been in that situation before, and it sometimes feels like there's no hope of making it out, and already 2 different teams got claimed because of that entire situation. So a 10-point lead is almost guaranteed to be diminished yet again. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. But let's go ahead and say Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid as well have a chance to move up the leaderboard as well. From 3rd to possibly getting 2nd or 1st.
Oh, most definitely. They were one of those teams in the focus fire. Peterbot getting a little sample of what that feels like. And he knows what to do. Change layers instantly there. Gotta give it up, and it's Kanata who goes up top as well. But that same team just focuses onto them. And then Bolt has to come in, pick him up in misform, but Rapid puts a little wall down there, so kind of slows things down for a second, but the pressure's still coming through. King's Trio's the one on the other layer right in front of them. They actually leave Kanata behind, so clearly Rapid couldn't even pick up the body.
Wait a minute.
Might get him. They might get him. It's a miss. Med miss there. Kept him in the game. I don't even know who dropped that. It could have been Rapid. Could have left him there with the med miss. Who knows? Just have to find out later.
And they have a couple of more in their inventory. Crazy. And you see Bolts, the selfless play coming out of Bolts. Yo, my man, you could take this cape. You got it. I got some dashes. I could smoothly move around, maybe just a little bit better with my health, shields, and everything that I have. But the high ground goes on over to Josh, Tyler, and Curb. They've been through the ringer so far during this FNCS, but it's a day 2 opportunity to start to build that confidence and have an avalanche of momentum start to go in your stride.
You know what? You got to give them all the credit. The way they managed to really bully high ground right there. It was their doing of focusing in on anyone who wanted to contest them and see eye to eye. And just like that, it manages to give them a little bit of a lead here in the lobby here. And they're determining the pace of this endgame. That is not something you see a newer trio like this do. A team that hasn't had as much experience in endgame, but they are playing like professionals right now. I mean, look at that. You got Peter's team in shambles. You got Kanata's trio clearly in shambles. And look at this. The pressure coming from the top down is exactly how you're supposed to do this.
Oh, but somebody looked up and chopped it down. One of them is going to fall overall. Cole's going to go down as well, so it's not going to be for free. Cole's trying to break his way into those cover. The zone is doing so much damage. He has to try to find a way out. He doesn't have the misform. He cannot cape to the other side, but Cole goes down. That's the siphon he was looking for. And 90 left on the chug and the cape as well. Bolts is making magic happen right before our very eyes.
Still clutching up. Meanwhile, Curve also finds an Elim on the backside of zone onto Peterbot, and then another one too. Mud, Sphinx, and Shadowdale back in the mix here. Shut down the momentum. Josh was building up with Curve's trio there, and now leaving Curve by himself. And that was a 12 elimination, 5th place for him, but Bolts is the one who's gonna go ahead and put the stamp on it, and he is still going in this endgame.
And Bolts, I saw Rapid for a little bit. Kanata's even still alive. Out of the shadows, he emerges, but a whole trio still down below. Cooley and Curly, they're on the other side, but they have to go left. They're just dictating as much of the flow, and even Curly does it again, cutting off their path. Bolts got dropped down to 3 HP, forced to use that misform to try to go to the other side, lands in the zone. He has 40 on the chug. He can't get to full health, but at least he has an opportunity to fight back. He loses his teammate along the way. He's the only solo left in the lobby, but it's not for long. He's gonna get taken down. 3v2 opportunity for Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx to close this one out.
This is big here. Muzz jumping around. He's got that visual, trying to just stay low key here, but cutting them off. Shadow comes down as well. Shadow's just one pump away from getting sent back, though. He's got to be careful. Misform, though. Perfectly done. Down goes Reap. 2v1 situation. Cooper, you're good. But Muzz is here to clean things up, and just like that, they sweep the dust under the rug. Well played for them as they start to put themselves closer to the top.
312 points going into this game in 7th place, and their best game so far through the weekend was a 4th with 13 eliminations. They've been all over the leaderboard. They finally have found their stride and a way to push everything that they face to the side and really hone in here on day 2. They're fighting for that global championship spot with a few other teams, and so far Muzz has been lights out, and this is what you were talking about with him taking down Josh. Sphinx was staying above. He had the med miss, the justice case in his back pocket.
This is the best we've seen Muzz in recent times. And with Sphinx and Shadow, I just feel like he's finding his new stride here. Now, again, having to come through the LCQ, this is just more proof as to why they are so deserving to be here. Sphinx and Shadow turning up just alongside him. A great victory royale for this team here. And game number 8, Zeke, is now wraps.
Muzz! Muzz! Let's go! My king! He got himself a victory royale! Let's go! Kelly, you didn't believe in Muzz. I did. You know what, Muzz? She specifically said, I don't believe in Muzz. There's no way. And I said, no, everyone believes in Muzz. Kelly, that she didn't actually say that. I'm just making that up.
Is that a voice recording of me? Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was. I recorded the message. Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow get themselves a victory royale. I love in this game, for a moment, things look a little grim, right? We're on the low. We don't have much going on. And suddenly in the 11th zone, they're like, hey, what if we just go for height? Like, what if we, no one up there, right? Like, what if we just take that? And then this kind of leads them to win the game.
Yeah, Muzz, Shadow, Sphinx did an absolutely incredible job there. Watching the low ground, they were sticking to the front of zone and even using some early med mists into Storm to make sure that they're controlling the front of zone, which allowed them to kind of get better awareness onto where high ground was. And like you said, there was no high ground, so going for the eliminations, able to take kind of this like middling high ground, but in reality, they just were going on the aggro. They didn't allow anyone to really like stay calm, compose themselves, and instead able to get those eliminations and that victory royale.
Yeah, I mean, able to find the needed momentum for the victory royale right there, right? That typical position we've been seeing on the low ground where you kind of position yourself right off to the side of the moving zone so you can see everybody kind of rotating in on the ground. That's just lagging a little bit behind. They pick up an elimination there, have the resources to go ahead and justify going up for the high ground. And like Zeke mentioned, there was nobody on height, so they didn't have to take it from height. They just kind of just walked up. We'll talk about all that mess later. But yeah, a good win for this trio, especially in terms of making sure that they stay in contention for that global qualification spot.
Oh man, of course, this is what's going to happen. Every game, the settings are going to change in ways that are not predictable. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break. When we return, though, we start to kind of break some of this down. But for Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx, this is really good. We'll see you soon.